Interface Video, in cooperation with Fairfield Federal, presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fair Hope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Adam H., Dagger Law, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.
Hello friends, and welcome to Fairfield Today. Paul Jasson with you. Another cool-ish day in downtown Lancaster. We're glad to be with you. We're, of course, as always, fortunate enough to be here in the main ballroom of the Fairfield Federal, in that little corner. They allow us to come here once a week and talk about things that are occurring in the community, and we certainly appreciate all the folks, Mary and Matt and everybody here at Fairfield Federal, for being such a great host to us. One of the subjects that is close to our heart here on Fairfield Today is talking about the arts, and we're just fortunate to be blessed with so many great groups to do it, whether it's Victor Jones out at Ohio University or the Garrett Players or our next group. We have very talented people that are involved in keeping the arts alive and well here in Lancaster and Fairfield County. We're going to be talking about the latest production from the Lancaster Playhouse organization. We'll talk to them. On my far right is Jane O'Brien. In the middle here is Shelly Riggs. Jane's been here before, a newbie here in Shelly Riggs, so we're glad to have them both on with the Lancaster Playhouse. It's called The Book of Will, and we'll talk about that. But first of all, Jane, you are president of the board, possibly.
I am.
President of the board, but now, for our purposes here today, you're an actor.
Yes.
You're an actor. And Shelly, you are an actor, but not in this one. You are the director.
I am the director.
Pretty exciting, huh? And you've done this before, not new to you, directing.
Not new. No,
Okay.
I've been doing it a long time.
So we got two seasoned veterans with us here with the Lancaster Playhouse. So we'll give a little plug here first. We'll hit it. It's called The Book of Will. We'll talk about what that's about, like Lancaster Playhouse. And you've got more opportunities to see this. This is March 7, 14, and 15. Those are all 7 o'clock times. And then March 8th and 16th at 2 o'clock. So you've got a total of 5 performances, a couple different times, whatever fits your fancy. About 100 yards up the hill here at Maria's is where they do all their business up there. And we're going to talk about how all that works. Great stage if you've ever been in there. Great place to see anything on the stage up there for that. So I guess, Shelly, we'll start with you. The Book of Will. What's this about?
Oh, so Will Shakespeare is dead. And his friends realize that they don't have his plays. And if they don't do something, they're going to be lost to time.
Oh.
So they decide that they're going to collect them all and they're going to publish them. So it's a somewhat true story. Lauren Gunderson is an incredible playwright, and she does her research, and she writes a lot of historical and science history and literature history, and she's taken some real situations from Will Shakespeare's day and put them together where the people from the King's Men, the company that Will Shakespeare was part of, they decide to try to find all of his plays and publish them. So, yeah, publish or vanish.
Is this did this just come on your radar recently, or have you known about it, or are you just able to get it? How'd that work out?
I found it.
I think we'll go to Jane O'Brien here to talk about that. How did we come up with the Book of Will?
Oh gosh, I came to it through another Lauren Gunderson play. You read one and then you dig in and read about the author, and I was an English major, so I'm like, Shakespeare. And I found the script, and I gave it to Shelly, wanting her to direct, but not asking her to direct. And she's like,
are you going to ask me to direct this?
Yeah, finally so. And I'm so excited that she accepted, because it's a beautiful script.
Yeah. And Gunderson's an amazing playwright. Like I've been in a show that she's written before, and actually I'm directing in the future. There's another show that I'm going to probably direct of hers. She's just a really great playwright, a modern playwright that's got a lot of.
So the cast here, you're the director.
Mm-hmm.
How many folks are in the cast? Is it a large cast?
It is. We've got a cast of 15.
Wow.
We've got a crew.
Like wrangling cats at times?
Sometimes, herding cats.
I
They've
understand.
been really great, though. Really great with regards to balancing all the activity. And we've got a crew of about, probably designers and crew of about 10 right now, something like that. So we've got a good number of folks involved.
A lot of moving parts?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
A lot of new
moving parts.
folks involved, and
Which is exciting.
Oh, I'm sure it is. And from somebody that's in the cast, and on the board, you kind of just see all this kind of come together.
Yes. in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, it's getting close.
We've been battling weather. We've had some weather cancellations.
Tough time of the year.
Yeah, it
and
is.
a little bit of, some sickness
I
running
was
through.
going to say, that's always an issue.
Yes. So
You always tell your people when they leave, just take care of yourself, take care of your boys, blah, blah, because one person, I mean, you have any understudies? I mean, is that something you have? No. You have the person. Maybe
I'm
you could
the
direct.
understudy.
we do not have the luxury
Sure.
of understudies.
Sure. You learn the part, and that's your part.
Yes.
That's,
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's
And
sounds
the
like
show
a
must go
fun
on.
play. Is it enjoyable to direct a play that you like this much?
I do, because I don't want to direct something that I don't enjoy. I don't think,
Sure.
it's just the way that I like to work. I directed for Lancaster Playhouse last year for the first time. I've acted for them before, and then I became a director for them last year. I've got 30 plus years of experience. I used to teach. I used to teach theater in the public school system, so I've been doing it a long time. Yeah. So
good.
herding cats, you said?
Well, that would truly be
Yeah.
not remembering how it was,
Yeah.
and I can see cats would be insulted.
Who's
by it.
worse, adults or high school students?
I was worried. And the adults have been wonderful, and they have some of the same, insecurities and worries that high school kids do, because it's hard. You're putting yourself out there.
Sure.
You're putting yourself out there on stage, and you worry about doing a good job. And no, they've been great.
Jane, how many plays you folks do a year? 3, 4?
We are doing so this year. We've been coming back. This year we are doing 3 shows as part of our 10th anniversary season, and we have dedicated this 10th anniversary to the memory of Rosemary Hajost.
Well, what a giant in the community.
Yes.
Overall, her and Len were just landmark persons in this community. But then, in talking about the Lancaster Playhouse and the theater, she was the woman.
Right. Rosemary was one of our founding members. She directed for us. She starred in shows, and I miss her. It's like a little angel on your shoulder,
Used to be whenever I did a show or had you folks on, she was the one for a long time that I chatted with, because she
Right.
was always out there. She was the face, the voice of it, and
Best
you couldn't have a
cheerleader.
better one.
Best cheerleader.
Yeah, well, that's nice.
We do. So we're doing the Book of Will. We're opening with that, and in May, the first weekend in May, we're doing Motherhood Out Loud. Kind of going underground on this one. We're going to be in the basement of El City. It's a little edgier script than we usually do, and then the big finale for our 10th anniversary season is our production of Gypsy,
Wow.
which will be in September.
That
and
sounds
that's-
pretty aggressive.
It is. We're going. Got to go big for Rosemary.
Rosemary, she would like that. She'd say, that's right up my alley. I can
We're
see
all
that.
pushing ourselves, but I think it's worth it because she deserves that kind of a season.
And I was talking to it last week. Again, we had the Garrett players on. I was talking about it. The groups that are working together around Christmas time now,
Right.
with you folks and the Garrett players and Victor out at OUL. That's gone on a few seasons now, and that's turned out to be just a wonderful aggregation of all the people.
Absolutely. I'm not at liberty to make any kind of announcement for this Christmas. I think I spilled the beans last time I was on.
I've got Victor on. It's coming soon.
I'm on my, but yes, more exciting news, and it's been a good collaboration for all of us, I think. Though we still manage to have a conflict with our weekends, but there are simply not enough weekends in the year, especially coming out of winter.
Be a conflict. Now, are you from these parts?
I am down in the Hocking Hills area, about a half an hour out, so I taught for Logan Hocking Schools.
Very nice.
I just retired with 34 years of service.
Excellent. Very good.
Yeah.
There was a time, and I'm sure it was the case in Hocking County too, where once you got out of high school, if you didn't go to college, it was going to be rough if you wanted to continue to do what you girls like to do, which is direct or act or things. It was a little more problematic to find a place. But now,
there's
as
so
we
much
talked
theater.
about, Judith
Yeah.
Cosgray has that Rise Up Alliance. We've got her. We've got your 3 groups. I mean, there's plenty of opportunities
There's
right
groups
here in the community.
Nelsonville.
Yes.
There's groups down in Athens, Chillicothe.
Well, certainly Nelsonville now.
Yeah, they're really, Southeast Ohio has a lot of theater.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've got some new folks this year.
We do.
We do.
It's a nice mix of new and old faces.
And and with the big cast like that, I imagine auditions are pretty plentiful. I imagine you've got your share of people trying out.
We did fairly well for this one.
Yeah.
We have auditions coming up for Motherhood Out Loud, February 28th and March 1st. I did it.
Very good.
And that's
Pulled that one
that's
out.
another. It is. That's a really flexible show. It's a lot of monologues, so it's a great show for people who don't have time maybe to commit to a full-on production, but they'd like to do a monologue and be able to have, more of a handful of rehearsals than a 6-week run of rehearsals, and we'd love to see them audition.
The dates are, and again, Shane will put them up there for you, and you've seen the poster on this, March 7, 14, and 15. And what days of the week are those? Saturdays, Saturdays?
Friday, first weekend, it's Friday night and then Saturday afternoon,
Okay.
March 7th and 8th. Second weekend, March 14th and 15th, Friday,
and then-
Saturday at
and then
7, and
16th.
Sunday afternoon.
Do you always try to do that many? Is there always this many
We
shows?
have settled into 5 shows.
Okay. And
I think at this
I would
point
think
it's
in
a
some
settle.
cases, if you've gone to all this work to memorize and to make all these auditions and do that, sometimes it probably is wow, that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe in some cases,
Yeah.
a little more is better.
Yeah.
Well, in the second weekend, what we've found is if you put a good show on, people come the first weekend.
And they want to come the second weekend.
And then they tell their
Yeah.
friends. So we have had good turnout first weekends, sold out performances second weekend.
Yeah.
Which is lovely.
That's
that's
good.
what
And
we're
don't
looking
be
for.
afraid of it being Will Shakespeare. It's not
Intimidating.
Shakespeare.
No.
No, there's little Shakespeare smattered in, but it's the story of the people around him. And it's not in Shakespearean verse. There's some Shakespeare quotes in there, of course. But no, it's real people.
Be the fun side of Will.
Yeah,
It is
love
real
and
people.
love and loss and legacy.
Yeah.
What makes a legacy and how do we keep that alive?
Well, and again, and as Jane mentioned, it's the 10th anniversary of the group, the founding group, of which Rosemary Hayjost was one of those folks. And what an honor to have her name even mentioned. I'm sure her name will come up often when you're kind of introducing all this. But it's a pleasure to have you ladies on. Thanks. It's going to be great fun. The Book of Will, 7th, 8th of March, and then 14th, 15th, and 16th. It's all on the website. LancasterPlayhouse.org is the website. Intuitive. Order tickets off the website. You can do anything.
You can link to it through there, yes.
Okay, it's up here at Maria's. Just as we look, we can see
Yes.
it from here up there. So box office is 740-407-2784. A lot of ways to get tickets. I'd advise you to do that. Best of luck on this. It sounds like just a lot of fun.
It's a wonderful
you.
show.
And we'll have you back when we move on through the year.
Yeah, we hope to see you
The
there.
10th anniversary continues. The road show for Mary.
Yes.
Very good. We'll be
Perfect.
back in just a moment.
If you've been thinking about getting a home loan, now is the time. Hi, this is Carrie James from Fairfield Federal. Our experienced lenders are here to help you make your vision a reality. For more than 125 years, we've been helping our community achieve homeownership. Fairfield Federal has convenient online application for your home loan, home equity loan, and home equity line of credit needs. Visit fairfieldfederal.com to get started. Fairfield Federal for checking, savings, and home loans. Data charges may apply, subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 402612.
The reason why I do what I do is I love helping people, and I really love to work on understanding and striving to improve the lives of the people in our community. Being in Fairfield County is having a network of people around you.
I am driven by my belief that every individual deserves an opportunity to achieve mental and emotional balance, and I'm very passionate about contributing to that process.
Community, connections, collaboration. The Fairfield County Way.
What makes Fairhope what it is our staff. It's always a question that we ask, why do you want to be here with us? And what they most always say is, you've touched my life this way. you know, you took care of this person, or I've seen what you've done and I want to do that. And so the staff that have been here know what it takes. They've been on the other side. They see what it takes to make someone comfortable, to make the family comfortable, and really what kind of support they need. And so I think that's what really makes Fairhope what it is.
Fairfield Medical Center is more than a hospital. We're a health system that's been putting people first for more than a century. From the youngest patients to the eldest, our compassionate team of caregivers are here to support you through every season of life. We are healers, cheerleaders, patient advocates, and champions. Your health is our greatest accomplishment, and we are proud to serve you. Whatever you're searching for, you can find it at Fairfield Medical Center.
March is Developmental Disability Awareness Month, a time to celebrate inclusion, acceptance, and the incredible contributions of individuals with developmental disabilities. Back in 1987, President Reagan called on all of us to take action. And at Fairfield DD, we live that mission every day. This month, we're inviting you to be part of the movement. Join us for exciting events, inspiring stories, and hands-on learning opportunities to help build a more inclusive community. Together, we can create a vibrant community where people lead lives of greater independence and make meaningful contributions. Visit fairfielddd.com to get involved. Let's make a difference, because inclusion starts with all of us.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Welcome back to Fairfield Today. Certainly want to thank the girls with the Book of Will coming up here, with involved in everything there with the Lancaster Playhouse. We appreciate that. A little bit of history there going back to the Book of Will. And speaking of history, nice segue here, we're going to talk about General Sherman. We love to talk about that, and the Heritage Association here in town. They're just an amazing group of people. And our history guy, our history dude, is this young man that's sitting right here. He's a familiar face on our show. We have him on as often as we could get him. Probably could get him on about every month, because there's always something going on with the Heritage Association. We're just very fortunate to have Michael Johnson with us, involved in the Sherman House.
Yes.
And the Georgian, got things over there. We'll talk about that.
Yes.
But I think I saw something on social media that really kind of propped up. We've talked about Sipio Smith before, and this has been a long, ongoing process, and we'll talk about that. But it sounds like things are speeding up, moving forward.
Yeah. What started as kind of almost in jest during one of my speeches about how this is somebody we should celebrate downtown around his statue, just flippantly kind of saying that, has now turned into, oh my God, we're going to get a statue of Sipio Smith.
Now, for those that may not know, give us a little thumbnail sketch.
So Sipio was a former slave, and he was brought here to Lancaster. He becomes the first black businessman in Lancaster to open up a tinsmith shop here in town. He's the founder of Allen Chapel, which also has a school inside at that time, because blacks couldn't attend church or school with whites. And because of his efforts, he paved the way for the black community in Lancaster to thrive, and gave them some place to go. And it's really an amazing story. And the fact he had one leg. He lost a leg during childhood to an accident. So it makes you kind of feel bad when you complain about something like the weather or something, you know. This is a former slave, black man in the middle of Lancaster before the Civil War with one leg.
Could it be much worse?
Yeah, and it overcomes all of that with an incredible work ethic, incredible devotion to community, known for taking in people into his home, had no place to go. This is the kind of man I think you want to prop up and remember.
I often think my father-in-law had an accident as a young man, broke a hip. Kids were playing around, doing things. But I think his whole life he had this limp, but I think those are the moments that perhaps, and like Sipio, maybe help propel them because they overcome so much. They can't do sports, maybe they can't do other things, so their whole life is on learning, and it may be a good background here with good parents. He sounds like he always wanted to do the right thing, but in some way maybe that accident maybe formed the Sipio that we're honoring now.
It could have, absolutely. And he was aided by another family that still has some ties in Lancaster, the Effingers. Sure. Taught him the tinsmith trade. So he had people in Lancaster helping. And yeah, it's a magnificent story, but we're close to raising the funds for his statue.
Now, where will that statue be?
It'll be right next to the Glass Museum.
On the street?
It'll be, and there's a couple grassy areas down there that are owned by Park National Bank, and they've been gracious enough to give us one of those to put the statue on. And it's perfect spot because from historical documents, the Glass Museum is about where his tinsmith shop would have been. So
amazing.
Yeah.
Life-size statue.
6'4".
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. And he's not going to be elevated. He won't be like on a rock or anything. Sure. The artist said he needs to be with the people. Yeah. He needs to be down with the people.
And at 6'4", that'd be.
Yeah.
And he's pretty awing right there at 6'4", I imagine.
Yes, he is.
And this will be all bronze?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now tell us about the mini Sipio you have.
Yeah, so part of the process for this is you get a maquette, which is a half-size version. So right now at the Heritage Association, we have the 3-foot version of the final statue. And that, again, is solid bronze. It's heavy. I say little and mini, and then I go to pick it up and I feel bad because it weighs so much. But the way that he does it, it's Alan Cottrell out of Zanesville who's doing it, and he's done the Woody Hayes statue and the Jesse Owens statue, Thomas Edison that sits in the Washington, D.C. he did. Is you do this in a half scale, all the little details, all the final, and then it's scaled up. So what you see in that 3-foot is the way the 6'4" will look.
Imagine when you saw that, you were blown away.
It's incredible. I mean, there's a lot of symbolism in it. He's holding up a chain with the clasp undone with the date of his emancipation. He's got the cross around his neck for Allen Chapel. He's got a hammer, a tinsmith hammer. It's just, and his leg is visible. He said, do you want me to cover the leg? Do you want to see I was like, we got to see that leg because that's a whole nother inspirational piece of it. Whatever background, whatever things are coming at you, you can do it. You can achieve what you want to achieve.
So the website address for you folks is?
fairfieldheritage.com.
You can get on there and make donations?
Yeah, there's a link on that page, or you can simply go to the Fairfield County Foundation.org.
Okay.
They're the ones that are handling the money.
Sure.
And just donate. You just say you want to donate to the Sipio Smith statue.
So I'd get on there and get involved somehow. This is a worthwhile project that will live forever downtown in Lancaster. We'll be so lucky in future generations that we have something like that here.
Yeah, and he'll join General Sherman downtown as the two men.
Almost within line of sight.
Yeah, almost see each other, and that'll be interesting. And General Sherman's best friend was Michael Effinger from the family that taught Sipio. So there's it's
a lot of synergy here
going
on with this. Well, it could it be any more up your alley?
No.
Like on the nose, huh?
Right
on the nose. Michael Johnson with us from the Sherman House, the Heritage Association. And speaking of those two august bodies, a lot going on here in terms of always trying to be current, change, and keep up with the time. You're doing some things.
We are. So at the Georgian, something that Heritage has never had, which is a research area, an archive room.
That's hard to imagine.
It is. And we decided there are 4 bedrooms at the Georgian that you normally go through on a tour. And once you've seen 3, you really need to see the 4th. Mm-hmm. So we had a 4th bedroom that didn't have any real ties to Fairfield County. There wasn't anything in there that was Fairfield County history related. So we've reclaimed one of the bedrooms, and that is going to be the Fairfield County archive room. And it's going to have wall-to-wall first primary sources, letters, documents, deeds, things that members can come in, just sign up for a time, and then you can come in and do research. And nothing you can take. Everything stays
not a library.
in the room.
You don't check
not
it
a
out.
library. No. Everything would stay there. One of those rooms where you got to remove your bags and that sort of stuff. Nothing goes because this is our history.
Do you need white gloves to touch some of these things?
Probably some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they'll all be in formats that will be usable. And, everything from BIS collections from there and documents from there and yearbooks from BIS to letters from Fairfield County people. Lou Varga's collection is going to be there, so you'll be able to take DVDs from Lou Varga's collection and watch. It's just going to be a lot of information and a lot of neat things that people are going to be able to
Do we have
access.
a ETA on that?
That should be ready when the museum's open in April.
Wow. Coming back strong.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's going on, and as if that's not enough, and it would be enough, but if it's not enough, right up here about 200 yards away or so, maybe 100 yards away at the Sherman House, you got some things going on there.
Yeah. One thing that's kind of bothered me about the Sherman House Museum is not having something that really shows you exactly where Sherman was during the war. You get the questions of, well, where was Sherman during Gettysburg? And he wasn't at Gettysburg. Yeah, he wasn't there. He was at Vicksburg when Vicksburg was surrendering. Gettysburg and Vicksburg end one day apart.
Not going to be at both of them.
Right, yeah. Not at that time, you're not going to be at both. So this is going to allow you to kind of walk through Sherman's shoes, each battle.
How cool.
That he was a part of, and it includes quotes from him, includes personal experiences. So it's going to tell you, at this battle, Sherman had 3 horses shot from under him. He was shot in the hand. He was shot in the shoulder. So you're going to be able to go through and kind of relive what he went through. So it's going to be a neat way to immerse yourself in Sherman.
Timeline on that? Will that
That'll
be after?
ready. That'll be ready when the museum opens in April.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Things going on, a lot going on here.
Yes, thankfully, Wendy Gregory is tackling that archive room, and that has become her baby, and she does a phenomenal job, and it's looking amazing over there.
Well,
so
if you
I
know
give her all the credit.
if you
for
know
that.
anything about Wendy or about Michael, if they're going to do it, it's going to be done right.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's going to be top of the line. You've waited a while to do this, and let's make it worth our wait.
Absolutely.
So it's the things that are going on with Sipio and now the renovation. We're looking for a big spring and a big summer coming up here, huh?
Yeah, it's going to be busy. And, speaking of Wendy, she's going to be having a Zoom call with the descendants of the Sherman family and the McCracken family, the 2 families from the Georgian and Sherman House, and also the Rising family from the Daco house. They're all going to get on a Zoom call and talk about their experiences and their histories with these iconic Fairfield County families. And so that's all going to be recorded. Wendy's going to do a presentation March 22nd at the library, and sign-up information is available on the library's website for that, where she'll go over this presentation and share some of this conversation with these amazing families.
So other than all that, not much happening?
And I'm going to St. Louis.
With Sherman?
With Sherman, yeah. So at the end of March, for those who don't know, General Sherman and his family are buried in St. Louis. And every year they have a General Sherman Day. So they've asked me to come speak at this one. And part of this is because of the saber that we got last year, and kind of putting the museum on a whole other scale.
Yes.
And they heard about that. They came to us originally, this Civil War camp. It's a grant camp from veterans of the Civil War, the sons of the veterans of the Civil War. And they brought a flag and presented it to the Sherman House that flies over his grave. And then that kind of set this up. Well, would you like to come speak at Sherman Day, which is at the end of March? So I'm taking the family. We're headed to St. Louis, and we're we're taking the museum on the road.
Going to go see the arch and
Yeah.
Sherman.
Well, yeah, I'll see the arch from the ground.
Okay.
My
very
family
good.
will get up. I'm not getting.
That's a lot going on. Michael Johnson here with the Heritage Association, the Sherman House. Congratulations on all this. We can't wait to see the Sipio thing coming about here. We just, the new things going on. Well done. Always a pleasure to have you on. We'll have you back.
That sounds great.
Michael Johnson, our General Sherman guy right here. Thanks for joining us on Fairfield Today.
Interface Video, in cooperation with Fairfield Federal, presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fair Hope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Adam H., Dagger Law, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.